Brew, have you lost all faith in the Cowboys?
No.
Oh.
Because the faith that I had in the Cowboys was, there are different types of faith.
Oh, okay.
My faith was this, that 50% of the time when they bring their A game, they can play with anybody in the NFC. But the other 50% of the time, they can be the worst team, one of the worst teams in football. We saw it last week when they struggled against the Texans.
Risky
and
Texans.
obviously,
Texans tougher than
tougher than we think. We'll get to that.
Let's just be honest.
Get to that because they're making some teams look bad.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe you've underestimated them, but go ahead.
And we saw it obviously yesterday. Look, you guys know this. When they lost to Green Bay, what did I say? I said the Dallas Cowboys will not reach the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That they will find a way to blow it, to self-destruct. And that is what they do. Look, I wouldn't be surprised in the least bit if they beat Philadelphia this weekend. Because when they come to play, they can play that well.
And if I can just add to your point there, because they lost this game, that game's not that important to Philadelphia anymore.
Right.
Because they lost this game, that game kind of lost a little bit of luster because the Eagles don't have to have it now. Now the Eagles win that, unless the Eagles go 0-3 and the Cowboys go 3-0, the Eagles win the division.
Still a statement game, though.
A statement game, but more so for the Cowboys than for Philadelphia.
Absolutely.
But go ahead.
Absolutely. No. And here's the thing. Look, you guys know I feel like Jerry Jones has created a culture that is not conducive to winning big. Jerry Jones thinks, he runs his mouth, and so the players run their mouth. And it all ends up being one big distraction, one big show where you're not a meat and potatoes type football team. And sometimes you got to be meat and potatoes. When the going gets tough, you got to get tough. And they're not a tough team in that regard. And here's the last thing, Nick.
Yeah.
A lot of people going to blame Dak, and we'll get to that. They're getting worse. Because what was the strength of this team, we've all believed?
Well, they had Lawrence Taylor, and unfortunately they don't.
You were on that.
No,
yes, you were.
No,
you called him a generational player.
But
I believe it.
You did.
But I said, can we not call him Lawrence Taylor? And he is a generational player. But that does not make him being Micah Parsons, the greatest defensive player ever, which is who he was being compared to. But, Brew, is your point that they were looking ahead to Philadelphia, they were talking about Philadelphia already, and they weren't able to finish the job? There was around 3:30 yesterday afternoon, it looked like all the Eagles-Cowboys chatter was actually going to work in the Cowboys' favor. The Cowboys were up 17, and the Eagles were in a dogfight with Justin Fields and the Bears that it looked like, especially before Justin Fields got hurt, that the Bears might win. And it was like, oh, my God. The Cowboys finish off the Jags. They were up 17. The Eagles lose. All of a sudden, next week is for first place. The Cowboys would control their own destiny. And then what happened? What happened is Dak Prescott made two grievous errors in two terrible spots. One, the pick inside his own 20 that he had no reason to throw. No reason to throw. Eat the ball. Just don't make that mistake. And then the pick in overtime. And that is part of a concerning trend.
But do you put the pick in overtime on him?
Partially.
It happens to everybody. But Noah Brown's got to catch that ball.
That's fair, but it was also another rushed, somewhat haphazard. I mean, watch it. I mean, look at the, listen, I'm not a quarterback whisperer on the mechanics, but that doesn't seem textbook. It looked like he was almost hopping when he throws it. Come on.
But you got to make that catch. I hear you because he leads the league in interceptions.
Well, so can we show the full screen, Hubs? Can we show? I mean, this is startling what you're about to see. Oh gosh, Hubs. Hubs, that's not the full screen.
This is not funny.
That's Chandler Jones. Mush facing Mac Jones.
All
right, now
how
did that pop up? I'm sorry, guys. We got
cool.
This is a professional television show. Can we show what? There it is. There's the Dak Prescott full screen. Since he returned from injury,
that was terrible.
He has the most picks in the NFL. Over the last 4 weeks, he has the most picks in the NFL. Over the course of the season, Wildes, only Matt Ryan and Davis Mills have more picks. And Dak's only played 9 games. That's the thing is all these other quarterbacks played 13 or 14 games. He's played 9, and only Davis Mills, Matt Ryan have more interceptions. How about this? In every single game this year that he's thrown more than 25 passes, he's thrown an interception. These are all highly problematic. Now, I won't write the Cowboys off the way Brew has. Brew's in a weird spot. Well, you've written off the Cowboys and the Bucks, and one of them is guaranteed to be in round 2 because they're going to play each other in round 1.
Yeah, either of those teams. I've written off both of them.
That's my point. But one
Tampa
of them
cannot beat Dallas, but Dallas could go there and put up a clunker and beat itself. Let me just say this to what Nick added quickly, Wildes. They still scored 34 points.
That's what I'm saying.
That should be enough. But the defense that we thought was Super Bowl caliber has had 1 sack in the last 2 games against 2 of the worst offensive lines in the league.
Here, let me show you the defense stats. First 7 games when we thought, hey, this is great. Now you got a little Cooper Rush in there. These last 7, and I know this was the big story last week. Nick, I 100% believe the Micah Parsons thing is an issue for the Cowboys of the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Of him sort of not only looking past Jacksonville to talk about the Eagles. I think when you look past a team, Jacksonville starts to feel some kind of way about it too. The Prince who was promised starts to feel.
Before we get to the Prince who was promised, I want to leave time for him.
Are we really calling him that? Are you calling him that?
No, he's not. It's not promised anymore. He's just the Prince, who, when he beats America's team, I think he gets, it's like the reverse of
everybody beats America's team.
Hold on, real quick.
Aaron Rodgers
on the Micah Parsons point. Wouldn't we think typically that if a team was looking past somebody, that means they come out flat? Or if the Jags were disrespected by it, that the Jags jump out on them? The Cowboys were up 27-10. The Cowboys had firm control of this football game.
That's a good point.
And then they started.
They start feeling themselves. That's what they do.
Right. And so I also think the Cowboys, kind of don't keep their eye on the ball all the time. But I don't think that's what happened in this game. I think what was supposed to be a top 3 defense in the NFL got 34 hung on them, and then I can't say 40 hung on them because the last one was a pick-6. Yeah. And Dak turned the ball over in the worst possible spots. That's
192 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
Not great.
No.
Not great.
No.
All right, we're going to move on to.
Are we?
We're going to hit the music.
Nick,
the Prince who was promised.
That's all I'm saying.
One door closes, another door opens.
I'm speeding up.
Cowboys door closed. From this game, the door for the Prince opened. 318, 4 touchdowns.
Oh.
I'll be honest with you. Looked great pretty much the whole game.
Oh, did he?
He coughed one up, but, overall.
That could have cost him the game. Don't forget that little phrase.
But he played well.
He did.
Nick, you've wanted to crown him.
He did.
Crown him what?
You've been dying to crown him.
He's been the best quarterback in football for a month now. The best quarterback in football. Can we show the full screen of what?
There's a reason why you're not an actor.
You're the worst.
You're the worst.
We're
There's a
professional show. Hubs. This is a national television show.
What are they doing?
Can we show the Trevor Lawrence stats? My God. Okay, there it is.
It's a good bit.
Oh, my God.
Since week 9, he leads the NFL in passer rating. He leads in completion percentage. He leads in touchdown interception ratio.
That's pretty good.
And this is why, Wildes, I was insistent on bringing up the Gatorade National High School Player of the Year. No, you guys laugh.
You think? We do.
Okay, 2016, Trevor Lawrence goes undefeated and wins a state title. 2017, Trevor Lawrence goes undefeated, wins a state title and National Player of the Year. 2018, hold on a second.
Titles.
2018, he wins the College Football National Championship, beating Alabama. 2019, he goes 14-1 and plays for a national title. 2020, he finishes second in the Heisman Trophy voting, should have won it, with respect to Devontae Smith. 2021 is a total disaster, and now 2022, the Jags are going to make the playoffs. They're going to run the Titans down. So the reason that I felt comfortable, Wildes, writing off 2021 was because of who he has been every step of the way. And I've said it before, I will say it again. There is not, other than Mahomes, a quarterback that you can say with absolute certainty you would rather have than him over the next 5 years.
There's one I can say. Josh Allen.
You're certain
Yes!
he's going to be better than Trevor Lawrence in the next 5 years?
Josh
He hasn't
Allen.
been better than him this year.
10 toes down. He
Okay.
did better than him to me. Did you watch the game
Okay.
Saturday night?
Well, we'll get to the
Trevor
Bills.
Lawrence can't do that.
All right, quickly. One thing you missed on his resume, he also made the honor roll and got an A+ on his biology test. So I just
And
want to say.
Kyler Murray's got the same resume with a Heisman.
That's a good point. All right, can we make a deal? He has Jets on Thursday. Jets don't know who they're starting.
Yeah.
Then at Texans, who are frisky, don't get
And
me
the
wrong.
Texans beat the Jags.
And then they host the Titans.
Yeah.
They win out, they can get in.
If they win out, they do get in.
Okay.
They control their
So
own destiny.
are you willing to, or can we play for the Prince's who is promised moniker? That if they don't get in, it's been 2 years, make the playoffs,
No.
just like the baby goat did. Okay, then you're not that confident. Then you're not confident. in the
All
Prince.
right, nice. Well,
No,
I got
because
something
it's a
else that's going to
team
challenge
game.
you.
What?
I got
What?
something else. I got a blind reveal.
Oh, our favorite.
I
All right,
gotta guess. Let me
let's
give
see
it a
this
guess.
blind reveal for the Prince that was promised. Now, look at these two guys. One is from this year, the Prince that were promised numbers, and the other one is from last year. You see, the guy last year had a higher passer rating, better yards per attempt, more touchdowns, fewer interceptions.
Was that the whole year?
And yeah,
Or was it
because
through
he
week
missed a
14?
few games. But the guy on the left,
Okay, the
who
guy
is
on the right
Trevor,
is Russell Wilson, who's awful. And
Hold
the guy on the
on,
left is Trevor
hold on.
Lawrence.
The guy, let's show it, Josh.
Let me
Let's
guess.
show this.
Oh.
There it is. But
Don't
hold
try
on.
to use
But
my
here,
own bits
let me
against
say
me.
this. Let me look. You
Yes.
praise Trevor Lawrence
Yes,
as
I
a
do.
prince, as
Yeah,
royalty.
that's right.
And it's this year. Russ has been horrible.
Yeah.
You said he's been horrible last year.
Because I
you
saw
were
this
killing
through.
him. His
Because I
numbers
was
are better.
right. Drew,
His
because
numbers
I
were
told
better
you the
last
numbers
year.
were empty calories. I told you Russ stunk, and then we got a full year seeing he stunk. Just like last
This year,
I told
last
you.
year, he
last
was a
year-
prince,
No,
according to you.
You got to bail on that tape.
You got to bail on
Out of
that.
all
Really?
those things,
Yes. Yes.
Last year, not this year. Last
It's
year.
not germane to anything.
No.
It has.
I'm just showing.
married to it.
I'm just showing that Mr. Consistent isn't that
I'm
consistent.
very
Consistency.
consistent. I'm Mr. Consistency, and I'm very consistent. That Trevor Lawrence was always going to be
Same
awesome,
numbers,
and that
actually
Russ
better
has
numbers
been
for
washed.
Russ.
I'm not a slave to the numbers.
You said he was
I test,
washed.
buddy.
Oh.
I test.
Were the Chiefs exposed
Unbelievable.
Oh,
against
please.
the frisky Texans?
Please.
Yeah.
Please. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.